Hi, this is me and Lauren's project, and we are going to be explaining why evil is a test, mainly in monotheistic religions. I'm going to be the older brother, Lauren's going to be the little sister, and we are at a 2007 family reunion talking about our Uncle Gary.
Hey, did you see your grandma yet?
Yeah, we talked. Is Uncle Gary here yet?
I don't think he's gonna make it to this one, Lauren.
Why isn't he able to make it?
Uncle Gary did some very bad things, so he's not gonna be here this year.
What happened? What did he do?
You're too young to understand.
No, can you explain what happened? I want to understand what he did.
Well, Uncle Gary killed somebody last week, so he's in jail right now. Sorry, I know that's a lot to lay on you right here at a family reunion.
What? Uncle Gary would never do something like that. He was so nice and funny every time I was around him, and he was a devoted Christian. How could he ever do something like that?
Look, Uncle Gary did something that's hard to comprehend or even explain, so no one can really understand why he did what he did. It's pure evil, and sometimes people can turn into completely different people, and we don't understand why this happens.
But he went to church every Sunday and loved God. I thought religious people were good people, and they never did anything bad because they want to go to heaven.
That is mainly true, but once you become religious, that doesn't mean you become an amazing person. You're still you and can choose to do whatever you want. In a way, evil is a test from God to determine if you belong in heaven or not.
But why would God test if you're evil or not? Why didn't he just make us all perfect so we can all go to heaven?
Well, if he made everybody perfect, perfect wouldn't exist. Perfect would just be normal. God didn't make us all perfect because he wants to test our faith in him.
Okay, that somewhat makes sense, but can you explain why evil's a test?
God wants to give us that test to see if we will make the right choice, to know if we are truly meant for heaven or if we aren't. Everyone has choices in life, and unfortunately, Uncle Gary did not make the right one.
Is there a way he can fix this mistake? Can he be redeemed?
Yes, he can redeem himself. As long as he realizes what he did is wrong and repents, God will forgive him and he can still go to heaven.
I still cannot believe that this happened. Do you think Uncle Gary will always be a bad person, or can he overcome this and change for the better?
This might change how we see him forever, but I still believe that he's a good person. It's up to him to prove it. And in the end, it doesn't matter if we think he's good or not. It's up to God if he thinks he passed his test.
I still can't really understand why God would test us with being evil. That goes completely against everything we've learned. Can you explain more about this, evil being a test?
Since evil is a test, it gives pain a purpose. Every time we make the right choice, we might think we made a hard or wrong decision. But every time we make the right decision, we grow as people, giving our pain a meaning and bringing us closer to God. In a way, we should be glad evil's a test so that we aren't going through meaningless pain.
I guess that sort of makes sense, but it still sounds scary to me.
Well, I know at first evil being a test can sound really scary and wrong, especially because it's from God. But I think he gives us his test as a way to help us become our best selves. Suffering and making the right choices helps us grow. Confronting evil can help somebody develop virtues like compassion, courage, and empathy.
I'm starting to understand this a little bit better, but why does suffering and being evil help us grow as people? Can you explain that one more?
Well, evil and suffering can push us to seek redemption and ask forgiveness from God. And in the process, we may even learn to forgive others who have wronged us. Redeeming yourself can be a way to break the cycle of evil, which I am sure God wants. So circling back to Uncle Gary, we have to hope that he seeks redemption and forgiveness from God, and I know he can do it.
I'm starting to understand this a little bit better. So basically, God does this so that we can learn as individuals and develop new attributes as human beings.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you're starting to understand this better.
Although I'm still super upset about what happened with Uncle Gary, I'm glad we had this talk. I've learned so much about God and why he tests us for evil.
As humans, we may not know all the ins and outs of how all this works, but we do know that God will test us in different ways, and we need to always try our best to fulfill his expectations and pass the test.
Did you hear Uncle Gary got out of prison this morning? He's out on parole.
I did, and guess what? I think he's coming here today.
What? No way. How do you think it'll go?
Honestly, I don't really know, but deep down, I think that he's redeemed himself and changed for the better.
Really? What makes you think that?
Well, he went through a lot in prison. Surprise! What's up, guys?
Oh my God!
Dude, you guys are all grown up. I just heard about this family reunion from your aunt. I'm so excited to be here and be with you guys. I have so much to tell you.
Well, what's up? How was the time?
When I got in, I was angry at everything. I thought it wasn't fair that I got caught. But then I decided to go to church service there because I wanted to reconnect with God. I reflect on what I had done.
What did you realize with that?
Well, when I realized that this was a test from God, and unfortunately, I failed his test. I realized if I ever wanted to be in heaven with him, I needed to change my ways and redeem myself. So if something like this ever happened again, I wanted to be able to make the right decision in a way. It's kind of good that this happened, though. It was a very good test to me.